Hey, everybody on YouTube. We made it to the weekend. How y'all doing tonight? Dave Scott here, and I am just hanging on out, ready to kick this show off with our guest tonight, Jim Edward Lucier, and we're going to have some fun tonight. It's Friday Night Woo Night, so make sure you are all ready for what we are about to have, which is a great evening of entertainment, enlightenment for you. Let's give a round of shout-outs to everyone in our chat room so far. Hold on, my microphone doesn't seem right here. What is going on? Maybe it's my... There we go. There we go. There we go. Now we're feeling good. Now we're feeling good. All right. Hello to the gorgeous and stunning Becky Belling. There he is, everyone. Lovely Larry Schultz. He'll be signing autographs behind me right after the show. Hey there, Fast Hemi, the gorgeous Sonia in the UK. How are you doing? Cat Chaser, always glad to see you. Boss Monster, welcome back. Hi, Nikki, one of the most talented intuitives that I know. Big Nikki there. I love her, love her, love her. You know what? Nikki's one of those people that every time you see her, you literally have to give her a hug. You just have to. Paul John Tavares, still no Stanley Cup for you yet. Maybe never. Long Island Bigfoot, good to have you here, man. Thank you for coming on in. Millennium, always a pleasure to see you. Todd Schultz, welcome to the Woo Train. We have, who else we got here? The Jim Christie, everyone. The Jim Christie is here. So make sure you give him a round of applause. Dirty Filth, always a pleasure. The gorgeous and talented Steph Dickey. There she is, everyone. Look at her. Look at her. Nice pair of shoes on tonight, Steph. Appreciate that. Kristen Alberg, looking gorgeous as ever. There she is. Lord of Land, good to see you. Brian, always a pleasure. Burrito, thank you for coming on in again. You make me hungry. Antonio Alexander, good morning to you from the UK. What are you doing up at 5 a.m.? Tell me you didn't go to sleep yet. Off-World Adam, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. And Sandra Piper, thank you for coming on in. You're looking lovely and talented tonight. Brett Lewis is here. Brett Lewis, everyone, which means we can officially start the show. And, hold on. Darn it, it skipped again on me. Where was I? Antonio? Yeah, I said you. Brett Lewis, ready to start the show. Okay, this is where we start here. Amanda Laraway. Hi, Nate. What's going on, man? What's going on, Amanda Nate? You need your own profile. You need your own profile. Screwing me up. Ed Claytor, welcome from West Virginia. I've been to your state. One of the few states I have been to, and I've been to West Virginia. Mark Ellens, thank you for joining us. Appreciate you. Murray Fisher, welcome back. Blick74, what is going on? Apparently, they did solve the Zodiac Killer cipher. I will be getting into that in the news at the back end of hour number 3, so that's really cool. Rich Hilke, everyone. The Rich Hilke. Michael Mangum, how are you, man? Spudger, good to see you. The gorgeous and talented Jules, always a pleasure. Sweet Donnie C is here. Worldview Warfare, where are we going to war? Let me know. Let me know. All right. Let's see. Bim Jim, good to have you here. Sir Wolf, welcome. Good morning to you. Anthony Coates, good morning. Good evening. TMI, pleasure to have you back. Chris Mo, always a pleasure. And Raul, my man Raul, right there. There he is. And who else we got? I've read you. Ross, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Andy, Mr. Cowley. I love that song, man. Love that song. I'm going to play that tomorrow. When I get to my daytime office tomorrow, because I got to work tomorrow, I'm gonna play that. Mr. Cowley. Da, da, da. I will come up with a second line for that. I wasn't prepared. I was not prepared, so please forgive me for that, man. Who else we got? JCL in Ohio. Welcome. I saw the gorgeous Kimberly. There she is. There she is. Jose, how you doing? Jim Lucier is our guest tonight, everyone. Jim Lucier, and we're going to have some fun. Oh my gosh, it's a Friday night fix of Alaska's greatest athlete, the gorgeous and buddingly awesome Ladybug Bigelow, everyone. There she is. Give her a round of applause. All right, we got 40 seconds. A great way to support this show is to do a little shopping at our SOR Vault. We got a store at facebook.com/spaced out radio. No, that's wrong. That's our page. /the SOR Vault. Facebook.com/the SOR Vault. And what else? The super chat is open. If you're new, give us a subscribe. And make sure you give us thumbs up or thumbs down, whatever you feel we deserve. And, thank you, Cat Chaser, for the lovely super chat. Of central British Columbia to you listening around the world. This, my friends, is Spaced Out Radio. I am your host, Dave Scott, sitting in the captain's chair of SOR headquarters. We welcome you to tonight's show on our terrestrial affiliates around North America, digitally on TalkStream Live, KPNL, and Revolution Radio. If you want to take a listen to our archives, they are free for you at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do old Davey the favor, hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio and on Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show. Our website is spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you, including rocking out to Bumblefoot and reading up on Captain Shirk's SOR Newswire. Tonight's show is brought to you by Chive Charities. Help make the world 10% happier by visiting Chive Charities today. You can find them on our website. You know what? We're going to have some fun tonight on Spaced Out Radio. Why? Well, I can tell you, it's one of those nights where we are going to turn up the woo. We're going to have a little bit of reading, wheeling, and dealing with Jim Edward Lucier, talking tarot and everything paranormal in between. Jim has been in the fields of the paranormal for over 30 years. His channeling divine spirits has started since he was 16 years old. He has been channeling. He is into tarot. He heads the Lucier Ancient Mystery School, the tarot wheel, based on Rider Waite principles, the oldest and most common tarot deck in the world, makes reading the tarot easy, fun, and effective for all ages. Through a spinning of 7 interconnected wheels, the simple format will have you reading tarot within minutes. And we're going to learn all about this, as well as his paranormal experiences throughout. Jim, welcome to Spaced Out Radio. How you doing, man?
Oh, doing great. Thank you. Thanks for having me. Happy Hanukkah to everyone, and hope everything's doing great with everyone. Welcome.
Jim, I want to kick things off for you. You got started in the paranormal realm at a pretty young age. What happened to lead you down this path?
Well, there was a few things. I was actually born and raised close to the city's largest graveyard in Saskatoon here, and that place was haunted. And then I was raised in 2 other separate haunted houses. And there was, I wasn't told any of this until after high school, but there was a lot of strange things happening. Doors would close on their own. All kinds of weird things would happen. You could hear noise and stuff like that. And as kids, we didn't really figure much of it out until after. My dad, he was always interested in UFOs and Bigfoot and stuff like that. And as a kid, I've always been interested in everything paranormal, as far back as I can remember. As a little kid in elementary school, all the other kids were reading books on, cars and stuff like that, and I was looking at all the books on astrology and astronomy and stuff like that. So I was kind of the oddball out, and Yeah, so it was a lot of different avenues all at once. I've seen UFOs up in the sky, like they look like satellites at first, and then they make these 90-degree turns and stuff, and then it's like, whoa, what was that? And yeah, so my dad was a really big inspiration for me. He passed away a few years ago, but he always listened to me and stuff, and I've had quite a few premonitions over the years, and I would always tell my dad about these premonitions, and he kept saying, "Well, you got to tell people. You got to tell people. You got to get them out there." And I said, "That's what I'm trying to do." Yeah.
A lot of this influence, because you were lucky, your parents obviously were very understanding into, the supernatural and everything that's out there. So with that, I mean, that had to be encouraging for you in order to kind of see what truly was out there, because it really is dedication in learning this field.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It was always the paranormal was always love for me. In elementary school, high school, throughout, I picked up all the books on ghosts and UFOs and everything. And yeah, and these long travels with my dad, he was a semi truck driver, and we went all over North America. And I'd be talking his head off, as a kid about Sasquatch, Bigfoot, UFOs, you name it, and he would listen. It was great. I was introduced to the ancient astronaut theory way back when George von Daniken's book came out, Chariots of the Gods, and I began reading that, and every other ancient astronaut book that came out after that. Um, it was always just like a fascination.
That is awesome, man. That is absolutely awesome that you were able to have that and that kind of connection with your father, especially regarding the supernatural. Now, as someone who grew up with some mild experiences and a very strong, keen interest in learning what this was all about, did you notice that the more you learned, that the more you all of a sudden started having experiences?
Yes, especially in my 30s, and uh, actually in high school, I was with a friend of mine, Anthony Dunmore. He was my best friend in high school, and that was probably the most intense supernatural experience I've ever had. And it was he kept saying, "Oh, his basement has got demons in it." I didn't believe him, and so we went down into the basement, set up this tent, and yeah, very strange things happened. Things moved on their own. Uh, Electronics that were unplugged with no batteries would work. All kinds of very unusual poltergeist-like activity happened, and which was very strange because his father was a born-again Christian, and as soon as he found out, he exorcised everybody and tried to get everything out and stuff. So yeah, that was the most. That convinced me that yes, there are such creatures out there. Yeah, they are real.
All right, I gotta ask you, for people who have never seen things move on their own, almost in poltergeist like activity, and out of all the experiences I have had, I've never witnessed that happening, and I feel kind of ripped off regarding that. I mean, I would love it if all of a sudden, I know my house is haunted. I know this studio, a lot of times will have something in it. Just once, man, just once, I would love to see like the cable guy Matt's coaxial cable, taken off my desk, picked up and taken off or swiped off or something. That's what I want, and yet it never happens. So you gotta feel pretty lucky to have seen that. So what's it like having that happen right before your eyes?
Well, it's much more of instantaneous movement. It's there 1 second and moved somewhere else the next in a blink of an eye. It's just like you turn your head. It's mostly when I turn my head at this time when we would look away or looking at something else, and um, it's very strange and it's very instant. Um, this one time we were holding this tray of toffee. We melted this toffee in the microwave, and we were eating it downstairs in the basement in Saskatoon here, with the haunted demonic basement, and the dish went flying into the corner of the tent at lightning speed, hit the cement without breaking, and that freaked us out.
Man, I think I would have ran on that. Pants may have been pants may have been soiled a little bit, but I may have ran out on that one. That is very, very sure. But for that, and noticing that as a child, in your mid-teens, but still a child, that had to be pretty horrific for you.
It was. It lasted for about. It seemed to last for almost about a year. We were teenagers, kind of, wanting to get into trouble and stuff like that, and so we were pleased that this stuff was happening. We taunted it, and which was probably not a very good idea, but it really makes you think that yes, there is spirits in the afterlife. Exactly where they come from, where these demons come from, is up for endless religious speculation. But they are real. Angels are real. There's so many things that are real, and that's what the whole experience with these poltergeist-like beings was all about. It really opened up my eyes to realize that this stuff is it's pretty real.
Okay, so when you had your eyes officially open that this was very real, what experience did you have that convinced you that we're really dealing with things that we do not know about?
Well, I don't want to scare your audience.
Oh, trust me, they could take it.
Okay. There was one point where we were lying down in the tent, lights were off, and there was light shining through the windows from outside, and we saw this long, kind of like a big fingernail point right through the tent at us, like a huge long fingernail of an animal of some type, or like it was really scary, and it didn't pierce the tent, it didn't break the tent, which was even stranger, and that and chairs would suddenly be in one spot and then in another. They'd be moved like that. There was lots of things like that happened.
At what point did you feel, Jim, that it wasn't somebody playing a trick on you, like one of your buddies or a family member?
Well, I really investigated that. As it was all happening, the basement was pretty much empty. There was a couple chairs, an organ. We had a stereo down there. We had set up this tent. There really wasn't much of anything. And I was looking around everywhere to see if there was wires or cords or somebody, playing tricks on us. And there was no one else in the house except for Anthony's parents. And they seemed to be sound asleep, but they didn't hear nothing. And that was all amazing stuff.
Were you also testing out the powers of the Ouija boards as well?
No, I never did. My mom got into the Ouija board when I was a kid, and as a kid, I was fascinated watching my mom and my brother play with this thing, and I thought, why, what's going on? This thing's moving and stuff like that. And so my mom said, oh, that's it. We're getting rid of it. And they threw it in the garbage. And I started crying like a baby, and went out and grabbed it and wanted to play with it more. And so my brother had to go and hide it, and so I could never find it again. But Ouija, I'm not sure. I'm not too fond of them. Like, there's a professional, very, very professional woman by the name of Michelle Belanger. She knows what she's doing when it comes to Ouija boards and such. She knows how to close them down properly and to open them properly. I would be very careful using those.
Why do you think they're dangerous? Because I don't. I'll be honest with you. I don't. I've seen some weird stuff, but I don't think they're dangerous.
Well, you know, like a lot of times, a lot of people won't experience anything. A lot of times people will buy it, they'll take it home, they'll play with it a few times, nothing happens, they'll throw it in the closet or whatever, and it stays there and collects dust. And but every once in a while, and there's many cases where people have played with them and something comes through. Now, the problem with the tarot, with the Ouija, is there's no real protections. Like, there's no seals around the board to protect what can come through. And how it comes through is apparently through the subconscious mind.
Okay.
Of the people that are using the board.
But could you not say the same thing for tarot cards, tea leaves, pendulums, any other sort of object that people use to connect with spirit?
Oh, that's true. It's true. You can say that. With most objects like the tarot, and they seem to have a sort of already a set spirit to it. There's already a guardian spirit kind of set within it. How can I describe it? It's kind of like the 78 tarot cards of the original tarot. It has sort of like a guardian spirit sort of within it, or an element of quintessence, and it acts as a sort of like only a certain amount of spirit can go through it at one time. Whereas with the Ouija board, there's nothing that all kinds of spirits can come through it. All kinds of tricksters, mostly tricksters. They can often be like children. You know, they'll come across as children, and you'll never know. You'll never know what is actually coming through.
We have Jim Lucier here, our guest tonight on Spaced Out Radio. Now, your preferred method of communication is tarot, and we're going to get into that a little bit later in the show. But for you, do you remember your first communication with spirits? And tell us about it.
Okay. It was a combination of it really exploded when I was working at this co-op at the grocery store here in the city, and I was a courtesy clerk, you know, brought in carts, packed groceries and stuff like that. And all of a sudden I would start to get these kind of like blinding visions. It was kind of like I'm working, and yet a veil went over my face, went over my eyes, and I would see all these structures of the universe, astral, kind of like schematics, all kinds of weird, almost like mechanical instructions. Like if you open up a manual to look at mechanics and stuff, that's what I was seeing. And so for the 7 years or more I was working there, I'd often hide somewhere. Like I'd hide wherever I could and write all these and draw all these things down on pieces of paper. And so by the end of it, like 7 years later, I had a huge mass of all these little pieces of papers and drawings and illustrations and all kinds of stuff. It was like being downloaded. It was like constant, all this downloading, and yeah, it was pretty intense. And so finally, when I had it all, I looked at this big box of papers that I had, and I said to Spirit, "What am I supposed to do with all of this? I've got all of this stuff. What am I supposed to be doing?" You know, and I'm not a rich person. You know, like how am I gonna? I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I finally got a hold of a friend of mine, Greg Hargerton, and we built a website. The website that appears now. Yeah, and so I said, well, maybe I can turn this into a sort of like an ancient mystery school, because it covers everything. It covers ancient astronauts and greys and all kinds of what I call grand unified field theories, which are theories that kind of bind everything, like all forms of energy.
Jim, when you started having those experiences where all of a sudden you've noticed that you had the capabilities of communicating with spirits on the other side, what at first did you think they were, comparatively to now?
When over the years, I guess the only way I could kind of answer that is, over the years, it's not as intense. In about when in my 20s and 30s, it was quite a bit all the time. Not as much as much now. I can be doing anything, like watching TV, reading a book, whatever, and talking with a friend, and all of a sudden it'll just kind of, it's almost like a telepathic image. In fact, that's kind of how I describe it. It's kind of like telepathy, where you see an image, yet as you're looking at the image, you're getting all this sort of like written information.
Okay.
It's like data. Yeah.
Okay. So with that data that you're getting, what does it translate into?
Oh, everything. So many topics of the paranormal. Mostly, I've got like at least 900 illustrations here now of that I've drawn out, and they're all about like how the invisible universe was created, how it works, that there's two curvatures to the universe, not just one, how everything is kind of an embroidery. Space is twisted. There's all kinds of stuff that, like astral schematics. Schematics is probably one of the best words I could use to describe it all.
Okay. We've got about 45 seconds till we have to go to break at the bottom of the hour. Jim Lucier is our guest tonight on Spaced Out Radio. Jim, in regards to the paranormal, do you think that it is just where spirits lurk, or do you think that they're stuck here?
There's many different ideas of that. Some spirits choose to be here. Others choose to haunt a certain location because they're still living in that time when they departed. Their experience is they don't know why, we're coming along and they see us, and, so why, most spirits will be like, why are you in my home? Sort of thing, and so in a way they're kind of just as confused as us.
Right, Jim, I'm gonna get you to hold on right there. We are going to go to break here at the bottom of the hour. Jim, Edward Lucier, Tarot Wheels, coming up on Spaced Out Radio. Good job, bud. Good job.
Oh, thanks. Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, I also have the I Ching Oracle wheel, and yeah.
We'll get into it all next, man. Now we get to rest.
Oh, right on. Okay, good. I can breathe now. So how many dogs do you have, Dave?
2.
2. Oh, okay. Oh, I love dogs.
1 second. Amanda, thank you for watching the Richard Dolan and Science Bob interview. That was fun. That was a lot of fun on that one. I will say that. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have 2 dogs. They're both elderly, and they both act like puppies, and they're a couple of weirdos. Sometimes they want to listen. Oh, hold on. Just for you, Uncle Dale. Uncle Dale, I'm going to give you the choice. The original Mighty Moose Beard Oil or the new Winter Blend. Your choice, Uncle Dale. MightyMooseBeard.com is where you need to go. It helps with beards. It helps with hair. And it is Uncle Dale's Power Stash approved. Which one do you want, Uncle Dale? Let me know. The original? Okay, we're going there. Hold on, Uncle Dale. We got you covered, buddy. Hey, Uncle Dale, speaking of which, you still haven't replied to me about your shirts, bud. All right, so we just put a little dab in the hand there. Gotta take the headphones off. Smush this together. Get nice greasy palms there. Just kind of rub it into the old beard. And, woo-wee. Oh, does that make it nice and moist there, Boss Monster? Little Mighty Moose Beard Oil, and then, oh, there's still stuff on your hands. Look at that. What do you do? I don't know. What do? You put it in your hair. This also works for ladies' hair, just so you know. Helps with split ends. Everything's all natural in here, which means that you get to, keep your hair very, very healthy. MightyMooseBeard.com. That's all you got to do. Tell the Dutchman that the SOR 2019 code, SOR 2019, and he'll be able to give you some discount on Mighty Moose Beard. Yeah, how it works right there. Sorry, Jim. Hey, Jim, question for you. What's your opinion of eating breakfast foods for dinner?
Actually, I enjoy eating fruits. Kind of boring, I know, but that gets me going. It's all the juices moving.
Oh, yeah? So you don't eat, like, eggs or anything like that, like hash browns, pancakes for dinner? Because I'm liking this if that's it.
Oh yeah, occasionally, yeah, but for the most part, I'll just have some fruit. And coffee, definitely coffee. At least 2.5 cups anyway.
Holy cow. All right, Human Carl's here, everyone. Human Carl, one of our favorite veterans who listens to this show. We love our veterans around here, and you know what? They're all heroes, just like Human Carl. Not to be mixed up with Alien Carl, but we love you, Human Carl. We'll give you a few claps because you deserve it for being a veteran, my friend. Thank you for your time, your service, and who you are in supporting this show. Human Carl, everyone. There we go. We love our Human Carl around here. All right, we just got under 90 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't have my computer on or anything like that, so I can't see the YouTube.
That's okay.
Anything, so
that's okay. Yeah. We got you covered, man. We got you covered.
Okay. Yeah, if anyone asks any questions or anything, I'll probably go back later and see if I can answer them after the show.
All right, can do. Human Carl, I think that I know you probably roll your eyes every time I do that, buddy, but it's meant with love, man. It is meant with complete love. I hope you know that, and we love you around here, buddy. We love you. Excuse me. All right, 30 seconds. Thank you to Anthony and Cat Chaser for the super chats tonight. And thank you to everybody who is listening in and giving us a thumbs up or thumbs down, whatever you prefer. Don't forget, You can do a little shopping at the SOR Vault. Go to facebook.com/the SOR Vault. You can get some great swag, just like Uncle Dale is ordering right now. And when Uncle Dale orders, he orders not just for him, but for his mustache as well. Here we go. Second half hour of Spaced Out Radio is now underway. My name is Dave Scott. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us tonight. We really do appreciate it. We want to remind you that if you missed portions of this show or others, check out our free archives by going to youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. Our website, spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you, including rocking out to Bumblefoot and reading up on Captain Shirk's SOR Newswire. Follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio and on Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show. We continue on tonight with Jim Edward Lucier. We are talking tarot. We're getting into the spiritual side of everything. And Jim, welcome back.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Not a problem, man. What made you get into tarot?
I think it was more or less, there was a bookstore in the city here. It was Saskatoon's first bookstore on metaphysics and paranormal. It was called Rainbow Books, and this was in early 80s. And, I used to go in there all the time and talk with the owner, and she would be showing me these cards and stuff like that, and I'd be, oh, that's interesting. And so I got into them for a while, and then I dropped them, and I kind of got bored of them, left them for a few years, came back to them on and off. And, it was a really great bookstore. They launched everything. They don't exist anymore. They went under, I think, in 91 or something.
Okay.
But that's what sparked it. Yeah.
Okay, so did you have the ability to read tarot cards right off the bat, or was it something that you had to figure out on your own?
I think, I had to read up on it and look at things, and I did tarot readings for mostly family and friends, and I don't know, it kind of scared me a little bit because they were saying, yeah, that's right, what you just said was right, and that kind of spooked me a little bit, and so I didn't really get too far into it after that, but I kept going back to the tarot, back and forth through time. Yeah.
Okay, so what's the history of tarot for people who may not understand?
Well, there's some speculation that, especially the major arcana, which is about 22 major cards of the tarot, go back as far back as ancient Egypt. But that hasn't quite been proven. But it made its way from Egypt into Europe about a couple hundred years ago. And at first people, they didn't really catch on to it at first. And then it became more of a parlor game, much like the Ouija board. And it caught fire, and just everybody thought, wow, this is pretty cool. The tarot is supposed to have a great, what they call an arcana, which is basically a secret library of knowledge, and it's held within the tarot cards. And only certain people that have the insight or the initiation can actually look into the cards and see certain information.
Okay, so how come there are literally tens of thousands of tarot card decks out there?
Oh, I think it's because everybody's, we all have, in my opinion, we all have spirits, we all have souls, and we all have that tarot, the 78 tarot cards or oracle cards within us. And we want to bring that out and express it and share it with other people. So it's going to be endless. There's going to be thousands of more different forms of tarot and oracles coming out in the future. It'll never end. But yeah, I think that's why, because we have this arcane knowledge within us, and we have a desire to share it with others, and so we develop them into forms of tarot and oracle.
Okay, so how do you get a message out of a card? Now, I know some tarot cards actually come with booklets on how to translate what the card means, or they come with, little notes transcribed at the bottom. And then there's those that come with nothing. What's the difference between the three?
Ooh, that, I think the ones that don't have anything on them are more or less for straight intuitive knowledge, straight from the soul or spirit, or from spirit that you're trying to communicate with. Others come with a lot of instructions, a lot of details on what the meanings of the cards are. It's all about what you're looking for in the cards. Like, what are you looking to directly communicate with spirits, or are you directly looking to look within your own intuition within yourself?
Okay, so take us to the ones that have like the booklet that comes along with them for translation. Is that more for amateur tarot readers than somebody who is more experienced?
I'd say they're for amateur. They're even for people with bad memories, like I tend to have sometimes. And you have to look again and say, what was that symbol? Oh yeah. It's good to have it as reference.
Right. Okay, but explain what that reference is.
Oh well, there's each card has a certain number of definitions. One set, like a suit, there's 4 different suits, and one suit has, like, let's say, pentagrams, and one of the cards has 5 pentagrams, another one has 10, and so there's definitions at the bottom to describe what the 5 pentagrams mean, what the 10 pentagrams mean on that card. So the instructions are quite important. I mean, I had to read quite a bit of it to understand what was happening, what different symbols and stuff meant.
Okay, so
I hope that answered.
Okay, so what about the cards that have, say, a quick meaning in words written underneath the photo or the picture?
Oh, well, that's an instant trigger word or sentence that triggers the unconscious or subconscious mind to enter that field. There's a lot of people don't know this, but in the world of tarot, especially, there are 78 fields, and each card has one field, and it's kind of like a plane. So it's kind of like 78 layers of planes lying on top of each other, and you, when you look into this, you can see it taps into the unconscious mind. So so if it says temperance or something like that on the card, and this card means peace and somewhat and love and everything, then that's an instant trigger to your subconscious mind to tap into that image, into that field.
Okay. All right. And the cards that have no wording on them, where it's just a picture, I mean, this is where we get into things like the pentacles and so on and so forth. How do you make a vision or a transmission audio wise to the person you're reading for when there's really nothing there but an old picture of a horrid drawing?
Well, it's mostly in that case, it's mostly intuition on the part of the reader. Um, the psychic then is supposed to tap into the spiritual realm, and with psychic eyes, the third eye, they look into the card and they can see um, images that may answer the questions of the inquirer.
Okay, so
Again, it's
just okay, take me through that. Let's say you've got the 6 of wands or the 9 of cups. All right, which are, many people out there may be a little bit unfamiliar with that. So paint a picture for us. What are you seeing when you look at one of those cards?
okay. Which one again? Which one exactly?
It doesn't matter what card it is.
Any?
Just any
Oh, okay.
card. What are we looking for? Paint a picture.
Well, most people who are into tarot, most are either psychic or clairvoyant, and they want to help their friend out or their client by asking the spirit or spirits or spirit realm for guidance. And you look at the card, and without words, you should start to sense a feeling, or you'll start to see an image develop in your mind. For example, if you're looking at the death card, it doesn't mean death. It means change. That what the person asked you is going to change. It's ended, and it's going to move on and transform into something else.
Okay, so why would someone use tarot? Is it a predictor of the future? Is it a predictor of, or pardon me, is it a vision of the past? Is it a pathway to the present? What is it?
All three. It depends on what you want to use it for. If you want to look into the past, it can do that. If you want to see the present, you can. The future as well. It depends on your intent, and the more your intent, your what you're looking at the cards for, the greater the response that you'll get from the cards.
Okay, I need you to go a little bit deeper than that for me, bud, because
Okay.
because there's a lot of
Sure.
people out there who are not may not understand what this is all about. So when you
Uh-huh.
get visions of a card, let's say a regular tarot deck, all right, no words, no nothing. How do you know that what is coming through your head is what is supposed to come through or translated through to the person you were reading for?
Well, a person needs to rely on their intuition. I would advise before using cards to invite your highest spirit guides to be with you. Again, of course, there can be tricksters out there, and you can be shown images that may not have nothing to do with the client. Um, the images of the tarot are designed to stimulate the unconscious mind. In the unconscious mind, we have what Dr. Carl Jung called a reservoir of archetypal images. And what the tarot does is that it brings those out. And when it's brought out and up forward to the conscious mind, then that spiritual connection is made between our world and the spirit world.
Okay. So as you are reading these cards, there are some that are like the old school tarot decks. You have ones with animals, you have ones with angels, you have ones with fairies, there are all sorts of different decks out there. How do you pick a deck that you know is going to work for you?
Again, intuition. I'd go into a bookstore that has lots of different types of tarot, and you just look at them. If you truly desire to buy a tarot deck or an oracle, simply you can place your hand out and kind of move them along, move your fingers along the different tarot decks, and see which ones you feel might be calling out to you. You know, there'll be one tarot that says, "Oh, this is very interesting. You know, I have always wanted to know about more about fairies and you know, whatnot, shamanism, and yeah, this is really calling out to me." Most often, people will experience that when they're looking for a tarot. It'll be like a calling. They just it stands out to them.
Okay, so I've made a decision here. In hour 2, I want you to give me a reading. Are you able to do that?
Sure.
All right. So in hour 2, let's do some of this tarot stuff here with old Davey here, and we'll try and get into it, because I do have a belief in tarot cards. Behind me, I actually
Okay.
have a couple of decks. I do.
Okay.
You know, and I personally believe, as woo as this may sound, the deck picks you. You don't pick the deck. The deck picks you. Because I've tried picking a deck, and I can't read that deck. I had to give it away.
Right. Yeah, that's happened quite often. That's actually one of my theories, is that, you know, we could call this whole entire field of paranormal, if we were to name it one name, we could call it the occult. And it calls us. It seems to call you. It doesn't matter what you do. You know, you could be an alcoholic or whatever, you know, and you're still going to get these visions. You're still going to get these callings, no matter what. It's very much like, yeah, you're being called. Yep, it finds you.
Okay, so as we go into tarot, why would someone want to do this? You know, explain that to me.
For the most part, I think it's curiosity. Like nowadays, it's everywhere. You know, on the internet, most bookstores have them, and I think for the most part, it's curiosity. But also, there could also be a more of a calling, as we just spoke of, for people to become more open-minded.
Okay, so am I going to get messages from my deceased grandfathers off of tarot?
It depends. If he wishes to communicate, or many times what happens too is that a spirit will move on. They've already reincarnated somewhere else, and so he may not even be available.
But you can talk to spirits through the cards.
Mm-hmm. You can, yes.
Okay, so if I can communicate with spirit through a card, is that different than, say, through a ghost box, or different than, say, through a Ouija board or a pendulum?
Well, with the tarot, it's mostly intuitive, psychic information that'll just appear. You'll look at the card and you may see things, you may know things that happen. The spirit box, yeah, I like those things. Those are pretty cool. That is more of a direct, you know, spirit saying hello, you know, type thing, and yeah.
Okay, so as we got about 4.5 minutes here before we have to go to break at the bottom of the hour, Jim Lucier is our guest tonight. What is your tarot wheel?
Oh, what is it? It was actually, I thought of it while watching. It was a show called Stargate SG-1, and you see the dial of the machine in the TV series. And I thought, wouldn't that be interesting if you could do that with tarot cards? You know, and so I developed putting all 78 cards onto the wheels and interconnecting the wheels, and then there's kind of a little flap that you spin the wheels for the future, and then you read what's underneath this flap. And yeah, the tarot wheel contains all 78 cards on about seven different wheels. They're interconnected.
Okay, so what's on the cards?
Oh, well, just basically, for example, you see, again, temperance. If you see that underneath the little flap that's there, you read that, and you can read, either use the tarot wheel device, which is more of a tabletop, coffee table kind of conversation, sort of like piece. If you want to get really into depth with the tarot, I would suggest reading. There's many books that are very in depth.
Okay, but you're the expert here, and that's what your bio says. So I'm hoping, Jim, that you could share some of that expertise with us, because you created this awesome looking wheel, and I want to know how it works, man.
Okay. Yeah, well, it's got 7 wheels, 7 or 8 wheels, and they're all interconnected in a circle. And say if you want to know the future, you close your eyes and you spin all the wheels until you feel, well, that's it. I'm going to look now, and you'll see under each one of those 7 or 8 wheels is a tarot image, like a name of one of the tarot cards. So you can go either way, actually. You can start from the bottom or you can start from the top. It doesn't really matter, actually. And you read each one. So it's like reading 7 different tarot cards simultaneously, one right after the other. But it's limited. I mean, you can only read about 8 cards at one time.
Okay, so it basically, you're using the wheels in order to create the message from card to card to card in sequence that you are supposed to receive.
Yes.
And how did you come up with that?
Right. Much of it was, again, intuition. A lot of it was just kind of like visions. And like I said, I was inspired by seeing the dials and stuff on Stargate and stuff like that. And I just, I thought of, well, I'm going to need a ring for the future. One's going to have to be for the past. One's going to have to be for the present. If you want to know about fortune, what your fortune's going to be for the future, whatever, there's going to have to be a ring for that as well. So I got up to about 7 or 8 of them, and if there was no way I could make a wheel system with 78 wheels, so I had to condense it.
Jim, I'm going to get you to hold on right there, as we are going to go to break here at the top of the hour. Jim Edward Lucier is our guest tonight on Spaced Out Radio. His website is, I believe, Mystagogue1.com, where you can find out his Ancient Mystery School, and you can find out all about many other things that is very, very cool if you want to learn about your spirituality and how to get there. More on tarot cards. I'm going to get a reading here so you guys can see how it all works. We'll be back with more Spaced Out Radio in Hour 2 next.
Otherwise.
All right, buddy. I'll be right back. I'm just going to run my dogs outside, so just sit tight, okay?
SOR show archives for free. And as an added bonus, every 2 weeks I'm posting brand new content on Cryptid Tales, where I will get into some of the spookier legends and folklore from around the world and tell the stories that go with them. Find us at youtube.com/spacedoutradio and check out Cryptid Tales today. Drop a comment and let me know what you want to hear. See you there.
For the price of 1 cup of coffee a month, you can become an SOR Space Traveler. The Space Travelers Club is a place where you can interact with other listeners, either live during the show or on our great forum. We want your stories, pictures, comments, and ideas. You'll get live video streams, exclusive content, and be a part of our newsletter. Stay in touch with everything SOR. The Space Travelers Club is just $5 a month at spacedoutradio.com.
Get your horns up with me on Spaced Out Radio. This is Ron Bumblefoot Thal. Come tune in to SOR where you can hear me rock out with Little Brother is Watching, the official theme song of Spaced Out Radio. And then come on over to bumblefoot.com where you can find out about my tour schedule, my music, and everything else. Bumblefoot.com keeps you up to date on what I'm doing and the best way to stay in touch with my music and music camps. Sign up for my newsletter at bumblefoot.com and remember, Little Brother is watching.
I'm feeling a little spicy tonight. What to do? What to do?
Why not get Bumblefuck?
4 million Scoville units of pure hard rock. Bumblefoot hot sauces come in 3 flavors. The burning Bumble. Tone it down a bit with Bumblicious and throw the sauce on everything.
Spicing up. Bumble me, baby. Bumblefoot hot sauce. Get it today at kajans.com.
Hi there, this is the paranormal lawyer Michael W. Hall. I'd like to invite you to listen in each Sunday night where we're going to open up your eyes to everything strange and paranormal. I will be hosting some great guests with topics that affect us all, such as UFOs, ghosts, and everything paranormal. Let's learn together on Spaced Out Radio Sunday with myself, Michael W. Hall, the paranormal lawyer at spacedoutradio.com.
Are you an experiencer of something strange that can't be explained? Do you want help finding out what's going on? I'm Ryan Stacy, head of the Experiencer Support Association, otherwise known as TESSA. We've teamed up with Spaced Out Radio to investigate cases filled out in the SOR Sightlines report. We are independent and there's no cost to what we do. All we need is your experience. Let's find out what's happening together on the SOR Sightlines report.
The SOR Vault is open for business, and we have some cool swag for you to pick up. All you have to do is head over to our website and click on the SOR Vault. You have a variety of cool logos to choose from, and put them on anything you want. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, coffee mugs, you name it, we can get it to you. So do your shopping by supporting the store you love. Get your Spaced Out Radio swag at the SOR Vault today.
The party is always on at the Moose Vancouver. The Moose Vancouver is where you want to be when visiting Canada's West Coast. Open until 2 a.m. nightly, the Moose cranks up the rock while serving some of the best rated food in the city. The menu starts at $6.95. Why party anywhere else in Vancouver when the Moose is right there? Get your horns up and rock with the Moose, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
Hey Space Travelers, this is John Resig, founder of the Tribe and Tribe Charities. If you know anything about our website, you know we like to do things a little different.
All right, Jim, I'm back. Hi, Zoe Buttercup, with the cutest smile. How you doing, Jim?
Oh, good. Good. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, a reminder to you, bud. Let's get into some deep explanation here, okay?
Oh, Okay. Yeah, I'll try my best.
All right, buddy. Thank you. We got we got just under 90 seconds.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, like I can lay out 3 cards here if you like.
Sure. We'll do that.
Reading?
We'll do that here when we get back here.
Okay. Yeah, like so many of the topics of the paranormal are kind of difficult to describe.
Oh yeah.
Oh, but it's great. Time's flying.
Oh yeah. Going by very quick. Can't believe we're an hour in already.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Yeah.
Make sure since you're in
BC.
Good. Make sure because you are in Saskatchewan. Make sure you wave at everybody so they can see you. It's so flat where you are.
Yeah. Yeah, I can just stand up on the roof here and just see the whole world. And
here we go.
You're listening to Spaced Out Radio with Dave Scott. Follow Dave on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio and on Facebook, Spaced Out Radio Show.
Hour number 2 of Spaced Out Radio is underway tonight. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. I really appreciate you taking the time, and we want to say hello to everyone listening in on our terrestrial affiliates around North America and digitally on TalkStream Live, Revolution Radio, and KPNL. Remember to check out all of our archives for free by going to youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. The Desert Clam has set the password for tonight in the SOR Space Travelers Club. Where are you, Clam? Mammothrept. Mammothrept is your password. Use it wisely, Space Travelers, as the Clam sets the password each and every night right here on Spaced Out Radio. Our website, spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you, including rocking out to Bumblefoot and reading up on Captain Shirk's SOR Newswire. Follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio and on Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show. Continuing on tonight, we have Jim Edward Lucier. He is part of the Lucier Ancient Mystery School. We're doing tarot cards tonight. What are they all about? How do we do a reading? What kind of messages can we get out of this? And we're going to experiment on old Davy here a little bit. And Jim, we welcome you back.
Well, thank you for having me, Dave.
All right. So what kind of cards did you choose for us?
Oh, well, for you in particular, the first one is the Queen of Swords. And so that's more or less the past. I like doing 3-card readings, past, present, and future. So the Queen of Swords is saying that you began things with a charge of determination. You wanted to get things done. You wanted to get this radio show going. You wanted to find out many of the answers of the things that you've experienced in the paranormal in your life. And you really took charge, and you really wanted to get things done. It's also a subtle card. It represents children as well, like kind of like a childhood like look towards everything. Like you, it's kind of like approaching things with a sort of a humor, a childish like humor, a good humor. Not taking everything too seriously. And with that, the Queen of Swords is sitting on a throne with a commanding posture. And that means that, again, the things that you set out to do in the past and for the future have really solidified.
So where am I going?
Okay. Now let's see the card for. Card for the present. Ooh. Oh, let's see. Two of swords. Swords again. Yeah. Now that would indicate two polarity, duality, two different directions. So now in the present, it's kind of like there appears to be two different main themes in your life. You're moving almost like in two different directions, much like much of the world these days, being in a parallel universe. It's I don't know. I'm being shown something about family and this work that you're doing with the radio. So you're kind of being called in two different directions at the present.
Okay. Let's go in depth there.
Okay. In the card, the person is sitting at the shores of what appears to be a large lake. And so you've done a lot of stuff in your past that you're quite proud of, and you should be. And all that is behind you now. It stands as a monument or a testament of the things that you've accomplished. The person sitting on the chair on the shore is blindfolded, which means that you're not biased in what's going on with perhaps family and your work on the radio. You're looking more with intuition because there's the moon, which is out, and the moon automatically represents intuition and intuitive psychic ability. So now you're looking more with the eyes of intuition rather than the eyes of logic and reason, even though that's there.
Mm-hmm. And what does the future have in hold for me, or in store?
Okay, all right.
I'm very curious.
You know, it's strange. I keep coming up with the Queen of Swords. I put it back and it comes out. Put it back and it comes out. But we already read that one, so I don't know. That might be it. But let's see what else there is. Yeah. Oh, okay. Here's an interesting one. Seven of Wands. Now, in the Seven of Wands is a man standing with a staff, with a large staff. I call them staffs. You can call them wands, staffs, whatever. And he's standing there, and he looks like he's about to place the staff in the ground. And there's already 7 staffs in the ground, or 6 staffs, sorry. And so that represents work accomplished and work ongoing, which means that there is most likely a project that you're working on. Well, I imagine as a radio host, you're always working on projects. So the staffs would represent those projects. And so the man about to place the staff in the ground represents that a major accomplishment is coming your way, like a major milestone. Maybe you're going to get 10,000 subscribers or something, or something big. And I think it's the 6 years. 6 years the show's been on.
Yes.
Or 3 years or something.
6 years.
Yeah. 6 years. Yeah, I think that's the staff. That's saying, yep, it's about to go into the ground and it's on the way.
Wow. That's pretty deep. Pretty deep.
Thank you. Thanks, Dave.
Not a problem. How many readings do you do for people a week?
Oh, to be quite honest, for the past couple of years, I haven't done very many, more of by choice. Because I still get visions, I still get all these different, I am in communication with various different intelligences and entities, and they're showing me things, I'm writing things down and stuff. So it's kind of like, I don't want to go into burnout, so I try not to do too many readings for people.
Okay, so when you were preparing for a reading like you just gave me, which was absolutely stellar, thank you for that.
You're very welcome.
Yeah. So, what do you have a almost like a premonition of what is going to happen beforehand, or what the cards are going to say?
Yes, most of my premonitions come mostly in dreams. I've had, I don't know, you can go onto my website. There's about 1,000 over the past 15 years that I've documented different premonitions of presidents and, the world disasters, tornadoes, earthquakes, floods, you name it. And the thing about premonitions, I noticed you placed that on the Facebook there today, and a lot of people, with dreams, if I can just expand on that a little bit, is
sure.
A lot of people say, they look at dreams and they wake up and they think, well, I dreamt of a tornado. Well, a tornado is supposed to represent inner conflict or some kind of inner turmoil happening, but it could also truly mean a tornado. And I've heard that from people saying, "Oh well, it's just a metaphor for what's going on in your life," and that might be true. But there's also you gotta kind of take a chance with premonitions. If you dream of tornadoes and it's pretty vivid, then it's most likely going to be in the very near future tornadoes. And people. For me, I don't even read dream interpretation books. As good as they are very good. I just go by my own intuition.
Okay, so what spirits do you have around you that guide you to these incredible answers?
There's quite a few. In the early 90s, I really felt Metatron, which isn't really an angel. It's more of a principle of energy, like sacred geometries that cover all the expanse of the universe at once. And so I seem to get a lot of images from that being. And then it moved on to the Greys. I really wanted to communicate with the Greys, so I read all these books on channeling and stuff, and I said, okay, I'm going to try this. And it was almost like automatic writing, or almost like visions coming over my eyes. And I would start writing down all this and drawing out stuff, and I could actually see the Greys in my mind very clearly, or reptilians. I could see them. I've had quite a few dreams of them. So it's like I said, it's a very kind of like a telepathic experience.
Okay, so can you control when you are getting those messages?
For the most part, no, not really. As much as I try to, when I'm doing channeling, I try to put shields around me. But I mean, when I feel like the images are coming to me, I'll start to put shields around me, like a green shield, a purple shield, white shield, in my mind, visualization. And I'll say a little prayer, and I'll invite my highest spirit guides. But for the most part, it can be very sudden. It's just like you don't know when it's going to happen. It just downloads. It's just downloading.
Okay, so for people who have never had that download or understand what it's all about, what actually happens?
There's many incidences where you're just sitting there. Like for me personally, I'm just sitting here or whatever, and or having coffee with somebody or something like that, and all of a sudden they're talking, and all of a sudden it shuts off. It's like I can't hear what they're saying, and all of a sudden everything that's around me doesn't matter, and I'll see this sort of like oh God, it's kind of difficult to describe. In my mind's eye, in my imagination, whatever you want to call it, third eye, I'll see images of I might see a gray, I might see a reptilian, and then I'll see images of the structure or schematics of things, of invisible things that we can't see, that are created in the universe. It's a very it's a surreal experience. It's like you're there. You're a channel. You've been called. That's what it feels like. You've been called, and we're giving you the information, kind of like thing, because you're available. And that's one of the main things of channeling. You have to be available. If you're not available, most likely you won't channel. But it'll happen anyways if they really want to get a hold of you.
Okay, so how often do these entities reach out to you and say, we have a message that you need to bring out to the world?
Quite often. I've got 44 books now on Amazon Kindle, which are, most of them are relatively quite small. They're kind of short. But because the images, the visions that I see are so intense, they're all, it's all jumbled up together. And I guess the best way to describe them, kind of like in the 16th century, there was many alchemic books that came out, and they were called treatises or grimoires. And they were very deep books of very intense topics. And that's what these books, that's what they're like. It's like poetry. You condense a whole bunch of ideas into just a few short sentences.
Okay, so with the spirits that are connected to you, do you know whether that spirit is going to be of a paranormal ascent or an extraterrestrial ascent?
At first I didn't. The first, I don't know, maybe first couple of years or so, I didn't really, it took a while to get used to their presence. I mean, they don't appear physically or nothing like that. It's like a presence. You'll just kind of, if you could see it, with X-ray eyes or something, you'd see this kind of like beams coming down almost. It's surreal. But yeah, like the images are, yeah.
Okay.
I've got.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I kind of lost a little bit there because I got some coming in, but in my mind. But
what's coming in? What's coming in?
Oh, I'm seeing the bright star of December 21st. December 21st, the Jupiter and Saturn is going to merge together, and we are in for a lot of good things in 2021, but it's going to take time for the transition. But
how long?
That's going to be a very...
How long?
Oh, well, I'm saying as soon as President-elect Joe Biden, I'm seeing around June 20th, then people are kind of going to have this sigh of relief that, that a choice, a decision has been made. And, okay, we can relax now. We know where we're going now, sort of thing. And that's going to cause reverberation around the whole world of, okay, we can kind of let our shoulders down a little bit now and just relax.
Well, my Magic 8-Ball agrees with you. It says levels are positive.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. I used to have one of those things when I was a kid.
They're magic. They're magic.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they are.
Let's play a little game with you here. Okay. Let's ask the Magic 8-Ball a question for Jim Lucier. Ask a question, Jim.
For the audience or for you or?
No, for you, man. Let's see.
Oh, okay. Will I sell a million units of my tarot wheel?
Hold on. It's a little hazy right now. Hold on. I gotta turn my light on. This is creative radio. It says batteries are low.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. You may be in trouble there. You may be in trouble.
Okay, well, 500,000's good.
Well, let's check that out now. Hold on, here we go. Will he sell a 500,000? Hold on. Well, look at that. Batteries are low.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, my friend, but the Magic 8-Ball. I mean, if you can't trust the Magic 8-Ball, what can you trust?
Yeah, and if it. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. 50,000.
Hold on.
Anyways, yeah, I hope the wheels.
It says it says out of fuel. Try later.
Okay.
All right. It's tired.
Maybe it knows I'm being silly.
Maybe it knows that you just came off a major connection and got a download.
Yeah.
So it doesn't want to wear you out.
Yeah, that's right, Dave.
All right, Jim Lucier is our guest tonight on Spaced Out Radio. We have just under 2 minutes before we're going to go to break here at the bottom of the hour. In regards, Jim, to the beings that are connected to you, are they lifelong type of entities that have been with you since birth, or have they come along the way since you got connected?
That's a awesome question. When I was about 11 years old, I think I was about that age, I was living in one of the haunted houses that I lived in, and I was laying in bed, and I was sleeping. I thought I was sleeping, and I got up, I looked back, and I saw my body lying on the bed, and I went through the doors of the basement, the basement doors, and up the steps and out the back door. And it seemed like I went right through them. And I saw all these lights in the backyard. Like, all I could see was just all these weird lights and stuff. And a few days later, I looked down at my belly, and I got 2 large pieces of my flesh missing. Almost like, when you have a bucket of ice cream and it's fresh, you open up the lid and it's all perfectly smooth.
Right.
It's almost as if someone took a whole scoop with, an ice cream scoop.
Somebody stole your ice cream.
Yeah. What's that?
Somebody stole your ice cream.
Yep, they did.
You got to be them damn spirits.
So I believe. Yeah, because of all the different dreams of aliens that I've had, and experimental abduction-like dreams that I've had, mostly all dreams. I think it's mostly greys and reptilians and such that are mostly with me.
All right, Jim, hold on right there. We're going to go to break right here at the bottom of the hour. Jim Edward Lucier. We talk tarot, psychic readings, UFOs, aliens, and more on Spaced Out Radio next. All right, we're clear.
Oh, so how are we doing?
Good.
Oh, good. Good.
Magic 8 Ball never lies, man. Never lies.
Well, that's great. Have a sense of humor and kind of lightens the mood a little, Are we getting lots of likes?
Oh, lots of chat. Yeah, lots of things going on here, man.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's wonderful. So many people tune in to these shows, and they, move their consciousness upward. Expansion.
All right, let's play a little game with our audience here while we're in commercial break. If you're in our YouTube or Twitter, ask a question. We're going to get it through to the Magic 8 Ball. We're going to get it through to the Magic 8 Ball. See what we can do. Need some questions here. No, won't go there, Kira. Will not go there. You know my rules on that. I actually have to erase that one, Kira. Bad Kira. Bad Kira. All right, Magic 8 Ball, what are the best batteries on the market? No, it's got to be like a yes/no type question. This is a Magic 8 Ball that is a Buzz Lightyear 8 Ball PBR. It's a Buzz Lightyear 8 Ball. Will the Triangle UFOs have a great 2021? Let's find out. Here we go. And the answer is battery, or pardon me, infinitely yes. Yes, we are going to get more. All right.
Yes, and I would agree with that, yeah.
All right, Off-World Adam. Will there be war, Magic 8 Ball, in the United States? The answer is out of fuel, try later. All right. Brett Lewis, are we all just freaking tripping? The answer is you may rely on it. TMI, that question. No politics, people. No politics. You know it gets removed immediately from the chat room. Will Dave forgive gorgeous Kira? And the answer is in hypersleep I will. There, I'm up. You're forgiven. All right. Will the world end on December 21st? No, of course not. Oh, but let's see what the Magic 8 Ball has to say. Oh, it's undecided. It's on a corner here. Hold on. Come on, Magic 8 Ball. It is decidedly so. We're all going to die on the 21st. All right. Remove that. Come on, guys. No politics in my chat room. You know the procedures here. Will Sasquatch ever turn himself in by D.B. Cooper? Let's find out. Ask again later, D.B. He's undecided yet. Chris Jarvis, is Dave's hair its own entity? Let's see. All clear. That's a good one. That's a bingo right there. All right. Let's see here. What else we got? We got about 1 minute here. No questions on Twitter. Come on. I give you. Is this a Magic 8 Ball? PBR does not think it is. Let's go to the answer. Out of fuel. Try again later, PBR.
Yeah, Dave, I'd love to take questions from people if you do that. That'd be great.
Well, there is one question coming in here. We'll get to that right when we come back.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Thank you, Magic 8 Ball. Flesh wound. We already know the answer to that, and it is absolutely no. And Kira, My psychic intuition says breakfast is not okay for dinner. That's why they put breakfast food in front of it. All right. Thank you to DB Cooper, Anthony, and Cat Chaser for the super chats tonight. Do a little shopping at facebook.com/the SOR Vault. And here we go, everyone. We passed the halfway point of Spaced Out Radio tonight. My name is Dave Scott. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us tonight. Want to remind you that if you've missed portions of this show or others, check out our free archives by going to youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. Our website, spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you, including rocking out to Bumblefoot and reading up on Captain Shirk's SOR Newswire. Follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio and on Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show. We continue on tonight with Jim Edward Lucier. We're going to take some audience questions now. Off-World Adam is asking Jim, will Sasquatch be revealed to the public soon, Jim?
I was actually thinking about that yesterday when I was listening to the radio, Spaced Out Radio, and, I got a funny feeling we're going to get very, very close. I think we're going to find something along the lines of a new form of, or a new species of ape that we may never have known of before. I think it's going to be something like that, so yes, something like that.
What's your prediction on the timeline on that?
Ooh, I'm seeing at least the first thing I saw was September.
It's a pretty ballsy call, considering that for the last couple hundred years, that, old Sasquatch there hasn't been too friendly about coming out of the closet or out of the forest.
Yeah, it's very strange. I just see these things, and it's not. I don't think it's necessarily going to be considered a Sasquatch or a Bigfoot. It's going to be kind of like a much larger type ape than what most people know of right now. It'll kind of be sort of like a very large ape, and people will kind of say, well, is that kind of like a Sasquatch? Is it kind of a small Bigfoot maybe? Or, it'll be something like that, but it won't be I don't think it's going to be the 7-foot tall Bigfoot Sasquatch that we're most used to.
Oh, really?
But it'll be something very close to that, yeah.
Oh, really? Well, that's
interesting. What I sent.
So is that creature already here, or is it coming from a different planet?
I feel that it's been here for a while, and believe it or not, I think the Bigfoot Sasquatch Yeti is kind of a part of the disclosure of other cryptids and aliens. It's a slow-moving sort of movement towards full disclosure of many of these topics, but it's going to take time. It may, take a couple decades. Once people start getting used to ideas of seeing, a monstrous-sized octopus in the ocean, the size of New York City or something, they'll start to, they'll be more comfortable about hearing about other cryptids and Sasquatch and Bigfoot and stuff. But I think it is part of a much larger disclosure.
Okay. Okay. So what are your alien contacts saying about any type of disclosure? What I just said, and also, yes, we are going to see a lot more of the triangular UFOs, because we are just beginning to exit what was kind of like a parallel universe, almost like two different worlds. We entered it in September of last year, and only partially.
entered, sort of like two different things happening at the same time. People that want to wear masks and people that don't, people that want to do this and people that don't, divisions and polarities and dualities all over the place in all levels of society right now. And it's all going to start to come together again in 2021. So the triangle is going to represent in the collective mind a reunification of the polarities, where everything, with the number 3, we have, 1, 2, and the unification of 1 and 2 would equal 3. So the triangle type UFOs are trying to signal to us that we are coming to a form of reunification.
Okay. All right. So with that reunification, is that what the Great Reset is all about that we hear all these politicians talking about?
Yes. Yes. Because many of them, I don't know, some people call them the Illuminati, some people call them this or that, or cabal. They are, some are in contact with, well, maybe quite a few of them are in contact with certain intelligences, especially the Greys and reptilian types, because they love territorial stuff on Earth, and yeah.
Okay, so the point that I'm wondering about is you have had a major experience with extraterrestrials with your friend Carol.
Oh yeah, Carol Jewell.
Yeah, tell me about
or
that.
Whitley.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that happened. Oh, I think it was 93 or 94. It's quite a long time ago now, but we were driving out to go to watch the meteorites coming in and stuff in the meteor shower. I think it was September, and we parked along the side of the highway, just outside of Saskatoon here, and well, we're just looking up at the sky, and all of a sudden there's no traffic. There's no traffic at all coming down the highway, and there's a little bit of a hill in front of us, and we see this black triangular object moving towards us, and as it got closer, it got larger. It was, I don't know, maybe, maybe 700 feet away, and it drifted near us, and we're all excited, jumping up and down, take us. And we felt this like a beam. It hit us, and it was like a beam of energy that scanned the back of my skull, the back of my throat, down my spine. You know what I mean? It was like I was being scanned, and I felt this kind of like a little bit of a push backward, a little bit of a jolt backward. And she felt the exact same thing, and it kept going. It felt like felt soothing, like love or something like that. And so anyway, the UFO kept going. It was a rather large black triangular craft, no sound, very large, no sound at all. It was very eerie. And as it was going, it began to disappear, and then traffic started again. The traffic just appeared out of nowhere. So it was like they totally timed it, that no one else could see it.
Okay, so do you think you were taken? Did you have missing time?
No. We were just both very excited, and yeah, it was just a very exciting experience. And what I got from it was that many of these triangular ships are actually trying to heal the ley lines and trying to heal the planet by trying to keep it together anyways. And that's because there's so much negative thought energies out there that's being dished out by the human collective consciousness. That they're trying to help. Well, some are trying to help keep things sane. Yes.
Okay.
Trying to help heal. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this about the
That's what I
aliens. Have you had any alien encounters where you have been taken?
I feel I have, personally. Can't prove it, obviously. It's mostly in dreams, very, very vivid dreams of mostly of surgery, like brain surgery, back surgeries, feeling like lasers or people pushing against my spine, doing things to it. And in one very vivid dream, I had a really long needle, and it was almost like I was awake almost, and this needle went into my left eye, and I could feel it crunching at the back of my head, and there was no pain, but I could feel it all. So yeah, I've had quite a few experiences with the Greys.
Because
Especially the Greys.
if you've been blasted the way you were by some sort of energy beam, the likelihood of you being taken is very real and very high. You know that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that's correct.
Do you think they've done other experimentation on you?
Oh yeah. Mostly again, it seems to be at night when I'm sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Just not too long ago, I remember maybe 2 weeks ago, I think I woke up and some people might call it dream paralysis or sleep paralysis. It might have been that, but I saw this being leaning over me, gray with the big eyes, and he kind of looked. It was strange. He looked like an in between a reptilian and a gray. It was weird. It was very strange.
Wow.
And it just and it was saying something to me in a strange language, and then I was it disappeared, but I found that I was speaking this language back out as if I was trying to reply to it.
Okay.
Now, I've never had anything that,
Right.
They've never done that before, but it happened about 2 weeks ago.
Derek on Twitter at hashtag Spaced Out Radio wants to know if you have had any experimentation, much like Whitley Strieber, and had any sort of probing or anything like that.
Well, the probing, I think, was mostly the spine and the brain. I've had dreams where the skull is opened up, and they're either putting things in my brain or taking things out, one of the two. Hopefully they're, helping with my memory. And so it's, I love, Whitley Strieber. I read Communion in the 90s, and I could really relate. Like, that was, for some reason, I've always loved the Greys. Like, they just, I seem to understand what it is they're trying to do. Some of them are pretty nasty, but there's many different varieties of Greys, many different races of them. Mm-hmm. And Whitley Strieber, he was a good influence. I loved the movie too when I saw the movie Communion.
Nikki wants to know if you have any scars from that brain probing on your scalp.
Yes. Actually, I have a bald spot, and it's got a weird crease in it, like a long crease. And every time it bothers me, actually, it's been bothering me for years, but I'll rub my head, and it feels like there's something in there, like a round ball or something in there. And so I believe that's about the major one scar that I have, other than the two scoops. Well, they're pretty much all the scars now, but the couple scoops that I had from my belly area.
Okay, but you haven't had any type of molestation or anything like that from the aliens.
No.
You're a lucky
No.
one, because the Greys like to do that, you know.
Yeah. Oh yes, which is very strange. Like I am very aware of, you know, there's the lower caste Greys. I guess you can call them that. They're very much into experimentation and all kinds of nasty stuff. But there's many more Greys, races or species of Greys, that are much more closer to trying to help in means of the collective unconscious and collective consciousness of the species, human race.
Nikki has a follow-up wondering if you ever had an MRI of your brain and found anything implanted.
I've always wanted to do that. I really have, and I hope I get the chance to do that soon. But in Saskatoon here, it's not that big of a population, and we only got, I think, maybe one or two of those things. And setting a date for something like that is, they'll say it's not a medical emergency, so maybe not. It's difficult. It's difficult to get a booking in for that. Here it is.
Gotcha. Got you on that. Okay. So with the fact that you have had these operations performed on you, are you finally comfortable enough to say that you're an abductee?
Oh yes. Yep. Absolutely. I am. And I have, you know, all the books on my Amazon Kindle thing, and I've got hundreds of illustrations here, very deep. Oh, Dave, I'm talking about very deep stuff here that I got. Nothing mathematical, nothing with math. It's all mostly spatial understanding spatial stuff. But it's like alien philosophy, alien technology, you name it, I got it here. So yeah, something has been happening over the past decades.
Do you feel connected to these gray beings?
Yes.
Why?
Reptilians as well. I'm not quite sure, to be quite honest. I guess it's because they're bug eyes. Like, I love animals and, seals and stuff, and, so I guess maybe I just kind of they don't seem to bother me. Maybe a long time ago they just said, well, this is the one we're going to talk with, and I don't know. I seem to understand what most of the Greys are doing. And they are, the lower ones are more of self-centered, but there's other Grey species that are actually trying to help us.
Okay. Why the difference between those that are trying to help us and those that are using us for anal probes?
Well, as apparently the Greys, the lower caste, came in. They first came in big time in the 80s. They just exploded then, but also in the mid 70s. But they're trying to their planet more or less rotted out, and like their gray planet that and their species is dying. And so what they've been trying to do over the past decades is take certain materials from us and reclone them and rebuild their own worlds, and also to build other inhabited planets of their own design. For example, they'll take samples from trees, from lakes, from forests, they love forests, and they'll take all these samples and of people too, and they'll take it to their planets and try to reseed those planets in their image, the way they want it to be.
Okay, so is that why they're hybridizing?
Yeah. Okay. So the hibernizing is preparation for us. A lot of the implantations, abductions, and so forth that are taking place in the world are helping us to prepare for a future. And I don't know when it's going to be, but probably far future is when these.
His phone died out, and we lost Skype. Let's try and get him back here, because this is important. Notice we were just trying to get to the aliens, and all of a sudden his phone dies. I'm telling you, these aliens, people. Oh, now his phone is showing that it's not online. I bet you his phone died. It sounded like it, didn't it? It totally sounded like it. Well, we'll try it a little bit here. I think the aliens completely wiped this out. Yeah. I think his phone died. Good grief. What do we do here? We were in the middle of a great show, and the aliens zapped his phone, and now we can't reach him. Why didn't the tarot cards come through and predict this during the reading? Oh, man. Absolutely stressful. Absolutely stressful. Let's see if we could get him one more time here. Oh, we may have something here.
Hello?
Hey, did the aliens get you?
I don't know what happened there. The phone just went dead, and I said hello a few times, and I didn't get any answer.
Weird.
So, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened.
Oh, you faded out. It was like you were saying something really, something maybe that you weren't supposed to, and all of a sudden you got zapped. We thought you may have got abducted.
No, that actually happened once with when I was on the radio with Jeff Richards from the other side, a Canadian Indigenous show about ghosts. And that happened then, too. I was starting to talk about the Anunnaki, and all of a sudden, all hell kind of broke loose.
Wow. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
That rarely happens on this show. Rarely happens.
Oh, okay.
Well, we've got about a minute. We've got about a minute here before we have to go to break here at the top of the hour. Jim Lucier is our guest tonight on Spaced Out Radio, and I'm telling you, it's one of those weird nights. One of those weird nights.
Yeah. Well, they're here. They're listening.
Does that happen often during your phone calls where the aliens will just tap out your phone?
Oh, I don't know. Usually, no. I usually talk just with friends and family, and no, it's usually pretty good.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jim. I kind of lost track here of everything we were doing on this important conversation here. I think we were talking about, we'll continue when we get back from the break. Give us a chance to reset what we are doing and what we are trying to accomplish here. And we will go from there because we do have to go to break here at the top of the hour on Spaced Out Radio. Our guest tonight, Jim Edward Lucier. His website, if you want to check it out, Mystagog1.com. Mystagog1.com. You can check out his Ancient Mystery School, what it's like to read tarot cards, ebooks, everything. We got him for another half an hour. Then we're going to get into the SOR Newswire and the Thought of the Day. Hour 3 of Spaced Out Radio is next. All right, Jim, I'm just going to run my dogs outside. I'll be right back, okay?
Okay, you bet.
All right.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out Cryptid Tales, where I will take you on a journey into some of the strangest legends and lore from around the world, relaying the stories to you of the strange creatures and experiences that people have had throughout time. You can find Cryptid Tales at youtube.com/spacedoutradio, and while you're there, don't forget to check out our free archives and leave a comment. See you there. The SOR Vault is open for business, and we have some cool swag for you to pick up. All you have to do is head over to our website and click on the SOR Vault. You have a variety of cool logos to choose from, and put them on anything you want. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, coffee mugs, you name it, we can get it to you. So do your shopping by supporting the store you love. Get your Spaced Out Radio swag at the SOR Vault today.
We are scouring the world for the most intriguing stories of your day. Take the time to read up on the SOR Newswire, where our team, led by Captain Shirk, will deliver to you some of the best paranormal and supernatural news, along with some stories that will blow your mind from the weird to the wacky. It's the news outside the news that piques interest, and that's what we're looking to deliver to you. The SOR Newswire, only at spacedoutradio.com.
Hello everyone, this is Ryan Stacy from the Experiencer Support Association, otherwise known as TESSA. We're glad to team up with Spaced Out Radio to help investigate your experiences on the SOR Sightline Report. Together, we'll investigate the strange sightings and occurrences you've had. We're looking for answers just like you. So fill out a Sightlines report on the Spaced Out Radio website and let's figure out what's going on together.
The party is always on at the Moose Vancouver. The Moose Vancouver is where you want to be when visiting Canada's West Coast. Open until 2 a.m. nightly, the Moose cranks up the rock while serving some of the best rated food in the city. The menu starts at $6.95. Why party anywhere else in Vancouver when the Moose is right there? Get your horns up and rock with the Moose, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
Hello, this is your guitar man, Ron Bumblefoot Thal, and I have to tell you, I love the response I get for Little Brother is Watching from Spaced Out Radio fans. It's amazing how music can inspire and make people think deeper about what's going on in the supernatural world. You can head over to my website, bumblefoot.com, to check out my music, my guitar workshops, my touring, even check out some of the hot sauces that I'm working on. And make sure you keep on listening, because with Spaced Out Radio, you know Little Brother is watching.
Hi there, this is the paranormal lawyer Michael W. Hall. I'd like to invite you to listen in each Sunday night, where we're going to open up your eyes to everything strange and paranormal. I will be hosting some great guests with topics that affect us all, such as UFOs, ghosts, and everything paranormal. Let's learn together on Spaced Out Radio Sunday with myself, Michael W. Hall, the paranormal lawyer at spacedoutradio.com.
Hello, space travelers. It's me again, Carl. Don't forget to join the Space Travelers Club for just $5 a month. And follow Spaced Out Radio on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio. Our Instagram, Dave Scott SOR. Our Facebook page is Spaced Out Radio Show. Our archives are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Come woo it up with Spaced Out Radio today. Bye!
I'm feeling a little spicy tonight. What to do? What to do?
Why not get Bumblefuck?
4 million Scoville units of pure hard rock. Bumblefoot hot sauces come in 3 flavors. The burning Bumble. Tone it down a bit with Bumblicious and throw the sauce on everything.
Spice it up. Bumble me, baby. Bumblefoot hot sauce. Get it today at cajons.com.
Hey, space travelers, this is John Resig, founder of the tribe.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, Justin, welcome.
Yeah.
What's hiding in my beard? Hold on, I gotta find out what's hiding in my beard. I don't know, but this hair's got to move over. All right. There we go. We've got about 90 seconds, and then we're going to roll on in to the final commercial.
Oh, time's flying.
Oh, yeah.
That's great. Hey, Dave, have you ever seen that episode with the $6 million man?
Which one?
With Bigfoot?
Oh, yeah.
The one with Bigfoot?
Yeah.
Isn't that something, eh? That was quite
That's
ahead of
something.
its time, you know?
Well, I think they developed that character thanks to the Patterson-Gimlin film.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what makes
'cause it
sense
was
to
really,
me.
Yeah, because I was listening to your show yesterday, and there was a lot about, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, and that, and yeah, it was with them perhaps being some form of alien species.
Oh, that could be. That could be. All right, we're into our final commercial. Thank you to DB Cooper, Anthony, and Cat Chaser for the super chats tonight. Thank you to everybody who's given us a thumbs up for this episode, and thumbs down, and thumbs sideways, and everything. We appreciate your support. And here we go, guys, with hour 3 next.
Would you like to connect with us? Head to spacedoutradio.com for all your latest show info. Now, back to Dave Scott and SOR.
Third and final hour of Spaced Out Radio is underway tonight. I am your host, Dave Scott. Thank you so much for joining us. We really do appreciate all of you tuning on in, especially those who are listening in on our terrestrial affiliates around North America and digitally on TalkStream Live and Revolution Radio, along with KPNL. All of our archives are free for you by going to youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. The Desert Clam has set the password for tonight in the SOR Space Travelers Club. Oh, I got to find it here. He gave me about 100 thumbs ups. Mammothrept. Mammothrept is your password. Use it wisely, Space Travelers, as the Clam sets the password each and every night right here on Spaced Out Radio. Our website, spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you, including rocking out to Bumblefoot and reading up on Captain Shirk's SOR Newswire. Follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio and on Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show. For the final time tonight, we introduce a wonderful chap, Jim Edward Lucier. He's out of the flat province of Saskatchewan, so everybody can just stand up and wave to him, and he will see you. Jim's website.
Woo!
Yes, Jim's website is Mystagogue1.com if you want to check it on out. Jim, welcome back.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, Dave. Yeah, hello, everybody.
We were talking right before the break about your alien experiences and how you've been abducted, and you're kind of weirded out a little bit by it because you're not sure why it's happening, but you think it's a positive experience overall?
Overall, yes. I don't know why. I just seem to. I've never experienced the horrible events that many people have experienced with alien abductions. It's always been very cooperative, I guess I could say. I'm not sure why. I don't know. Maybe I was a gray in my past life. I don't know. But I've always had this intuitive understanding. It's kind of like it's kind of like when an animal goes into a place to be examined and stuff. It'll cooperate sometimes, and sometimes they won't. But it was like that with me. I just felt, very cooperative with them. So yes, it's been a positive experience.
All right. So with that, how many different species of aliens do you think you've seen?
Over the decades, there's so many. I would have to guess maybe at least 15 different types, but I am quite aware that there's many more than that. and they've been around for quite a long time, for thousands of years. They were called the Ant People by some of the indigenous peoples of North America.
Okay, so do you believe then that we have been in contact with aliens for centuries, millennia, or do you think this is a rather new phenomena?
Some of it is new, but much of it goes back, back to the ancient shamans of their dream visions. It goes way back to the cave drawings, where you see the images of the ant people with very large eyes and antennas and stuff. There's quite a few species of them, and they've, in a sense, they've been walking this earth probably since before we were here.
Wow, that's a long time.
Oh yeah. There's Mu, Lemuria, Atlantis. There's about 4 or 5 root races that we're aware of. But I'm quite certain that there was many other forms of alien civilizations that lived on this planet for very long periods of time.
Okay, have you ever been taken to another planet?
In my dreams, yes. And also with the visions, I guess they're kind of like, vision quests almost, like I was saying, where I'll just be sitting here and music really helps. If you turn off the lights and you listen to really spaced out music, it's like, wow, I see these visions of, I've seen this one planet and it was all crystal, and it was almost like being on a big giant asteroid or something, and like a moon, and everything was all purple. All the crystals were purple. It was very strange.
Sounds
seemed to.
Sounds like you had a trip to Lyra, where the Pleiadians are.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that may be. Yeah, the Nordics. Some of them are very close to the angelic realms as well. And they're all here they're helping us. There's many different species. Not only the Nordics, there's, probably 1,000 different types of greys, 1,000 different types of reptilians. It goes forever. Dave, it goes on forever. There's probably spaceships the size of the sun, for all we know. The universe is so infinite. It's infinite. It really is.
Okay, so as you continue down this path with your own connection, can you summon these beings to you?
I've tried, and they seem to a limited extent. If I want an answer to something, I'll try to communicate with them, but usually I get the answer later, and it's usually when I least expect it.
Okay, and what answers are you looking for? Have they given you any answers on what your purpose is?
Well, most of what I try to do is, I guess you could call it the scientific method, or, I do have a scientific mind, although I'm not, that educated, not a scientist. But I try to match up what I've been writing down and seeing, well, does this make any sense? Could it be this? Could it be that? I develop, I have the theory, so I test it out. It's like, well, maybe it's this or it could be that. And I want to know, I want confirmation. And one big confirmation did come one time. It was a massive one for me, because I've been writing a lot about spatial science, I guess is the only way I could describe it. And apparently, the governments are working on what's known as a reverse engineering based on spatial technologies. And when I heard that, like after 20 years of writing all this stuff, it was like, wow, my God, I'm not insane. I'm not crazy. Something's going on here.
Have the aliens ever given you a profound or prophetic message of what might be happening here on Earth?
Yes, one of the major ones right now is that we did enter kind of like a partial two worlds. It kind of happened with Brexit as well. Half said yes, half said no, and it kind of just snowballed where, we're living in times where, populations are divided about many things, and you kind of wonder, well, how come there's so much division, or how much? And you start to think, well, maybe the answer is what I've been getting is that a lot about there's 26 dimensions in the quantum realm that they've discovered so far, maybe more. And there's room in that quantum world. And if we keep going back to the quantum world with the paranormal and say, well, is that possible? Is this possible? Is this, all these things are possible in the quantum world. That's an amazing thing, because there's so many dimensions there. And so the main message is that we're coming out of this kind of like parallel world that we partially entered and re-entering a new form of reunification in 2021, where things are going to be much more relaxed, but still there's things to work on, obviously.
Okay. How much of that is evolving with other people on this planet? Because right now the planet seems very divided.
Yes. Oh, large portions, almost, at various levels, there's numerous intelligences that are working with everybody pretty much at their own level. People who experience ghosts and hauntings and stuff, that's a form of work. They're trying to find the answers to if there's, life after death or whatever. And then there's just ordinary common people. Everybody's being worked on, in my opinion.
All right, question coming from Vinny. Do you have any alien pen pals? Do they send you types of emails or anything like that?
Nope, nothing like that. It's if they do communicate with me, it seems to be like a form of pictures and telepathy.
All right, let's go to the next question. Have you been consulted by or about the hairy forest people yet? That's from Bomber.
Oh, hi, Bomber. Do you mean like Sasquatch, Bigfoot,
Yeah.
Yeti, and stuff?
Yes.
That's what you mean? No, other than to reiterate that we might, in September of 2021, come to see the disclosure of a ape-like species that we've never known of before. And it'll be kind of like that. We'll be thinking, oh, gee, well, if there's this, then there might be this, or there might be that,
Okay, move on. Nikki is asking, have you ever found out how many ET tags are in your body or in your astral or auric body?
In the physical body, 3. Then I'm assuming 2 in my belly, 1 up in my skull here. I can only assume. In the astral, that's an interesting, in the astral, it's very possible that there's that they can, in fact, implant certain monitoring devices in our work fields, and I may have a few. Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting question.
Do you set off streetlights when you walk by them?
Not that I'm aware of. No. I wish I had that power. I wish I had that ability.
Okay, moving on. The communication you get from spirit or extraterrestrials that has taken you off planet, that has taken you, to build the website that you have, which is, we'll give it to the audience once again, Mystagogue1.com. You've built an ancient mystery school. What is this all about?
Well, many of the downloads, I guess you can call them, over the decades have turned out to become what are known as unified field theories, or GUTS, and that's borrowed from quantum mechanics and quantum theory. And what it suggests is a unifying theory that binds all the different forms of energy in the universe into one single sentence or a series of sentences. And so I've got tons of those. All kinds of initiations. I guess the closest would be Reiki. I don't know if you're, Reiki. Sort of initiations into the tarot, into the I Ching, into various different forms of oracles and divination, geomancy. And you see these into initiations, what they do is they give you a psychic, clairvoyant type connection to them, so that it's almost like they're always going to be with you. And the ancient mystery schools of Egypt, the ancient, what the symbology of ancient Egypt, like the hieroglyphs, what they mean, their secret meanings, lots of stuff, lots of Western esoteric stuff like Thelema, Golden Dawn, many other. I'm not a member of any of those, but just to give you the audience an idea of many of the ancient traditions of the Western esoteric world are combined into many of my unified field theories. Whew.
Okay, so how many people have signed up for your course since you started it?
So far, no one. And I don't know. I think that's mostly from lack of advertising, because I got everything here. I've got tons of stuff. And when I talk about a mystery school, I'm talking about something that, Dave, it would take it would take a person a full month to get through everything that I have. It's a real school. It's not something that you take for 3 days at some place. It's not a 3-day course. It's a very lengthy. We talk about everything. Yeah, everything paranormal, esoteric, occult. You could talk about. It's all in there.
Okay, how did you come up with this course?
Oh, it was an evolutionary process. I was guided. I know I was guided, and a lot of it is illustrations. There's about 900 of them, and of course there's my books online, and I combine the two, and we go through everything. We go through every form of, if you want to understand every form of paranormal thing there is out there, this is the course that will help you with that. It was very much an evolutionary process. Pieces and parts.
How did you though get the ability to write this? Where did it come from?
Oh, yeah, that was all the downloading. That was all the channeling that I received. over the decades. All the things that would just come into my mind, and especially when I was working for a while there, just blinding visions of all this stuff, and I'm hiding away somewhere so my boss doesn't, give me hell for not working. And I'm writing all this stuff down so I don't forget it and drawing it out and stuff like that. And so that's where it all came from, was a lot of channeling. Dave, I've probably done at least over the decades 10,000 hours worth of channeling.
10,000 hours worth of channeling.
At least.
Who are you channeling?
At least. Everything. Greys, reptilians, Nordics, Pleiadians. They all seem to they all want to say something and to add something, especially to add something. And much of what I've been writing is kind of like a unifying field theory of all the different philosophies of the different forms of alien races.
Okay. So when you got these downloads to write this course, what are you charging for this course?
It can depend. It'll depend, on what someone can afford. For a month, oh God, I'm probably charging way too low, but just to start off with, I'd say something like $2,000. It probably should be more, maybe less, I'm not sure, but, it'd be on a client, person-by-person basis, because I want to, I'm not in it for the money, necessarily. I want to give this information and help people as much as I can to understand the mysteries of the universe.
Well, if you're not in it for the money, why are you charging $2,000?
Well, I mean,
per month. That's a mortgage payment in Vancouver.
Is it? Oh, okay. Well, you don't really want to. At the same time, you don't want people that are going to not appreciate the information or not take it seriously. And most mystery schools will not give out most of their secrets just haphazardly. So that, it doesn't have to be 2,000. Again, it depends on the individual, where they're at. And it's a lot of, there's a lot of work to explaining this, 4 to 8 hours a day, every day for a month. That's a lot of work.
And do you do the classes online, or does the person have to be in attendance?
Well, that's a good question, Dave. I'm working on getting some online stuff going here, some online classes so it's much more available to people. But for the most part, it would be face-to-face.
Okay. We have less than 1 minute with you tonight, and I want to say, Jim, thank you so much for coming on Spaced Out Radio. It's been a lot of fun with you. Some very healthy knowledge, and thank you for a wonderful reading. Do us a favor, let everybody know where they can find your course and all of your information.
Well, thank you, Dave, and it was an honor to be on your show. Thank you for everybody, and the best way to get a hold of me and to find me is to go on Google or just search Lucier Mystery School, Ancient Mystery School, or just type in my full name, Jim Edward Lucier, and a whole bunch of stuff will come up on Google.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, I appreciate your time for coming on Spaced Out Radio, Jim. It's been a pleasure getting to know you, and I thank you for joining us on this show. And you stay right there for a second, because we're going to take this off to break here. Coming up next, we have the SOR Newswire. We have the Thought of the Day. Let's round this thing out as we head for home tonight on Spaced Out Radio. Stay tuned. More of the show coming up. Good job, Jim.
Oh, thank you. I can breathe. Oh, wow, that was
Good
great.
job.
That was awesome.
Good job.
Thanks, Dave. I tried my best.
You did awesome.
This is my. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
All right, man. I got to run and get the news ready. But thank
Okay.
you for taking the time, okay?
Okay, you bet.
All right, man.
Thanks, Dave.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Betsy.
Woo! I cannot wait for my back not to hurt anymore. That's what I can't wait for. It's getting better. Every day it gets a little better. Thanks, Marty, for the clowns. Just so you know, his website says $3,000 a month, the equivalent of about $10,000 of teaching, or probably over 20 value combined teachings is over 20 grand, but he's giving you guys a discount at $2,000. Pretty fair money right there, people. Pretty fair money. Binster, thank you so much for the awesome super chat, man. I really do appreciate that. I really do. Hey, Alan Young. What's happening? Good for you, Rano. Good for you. Remember, when you order your t-shirts from facebook.com/spaced out radio, you get your free piece of autographed coaxial cable courtesy of Cable Guy Matt. Remember, you cannot buy these in stores, people. Limit one per purchase. So go buy a shirt, go to facebook.com/the SOR Vault and get your free piece of coaxial cable with a t-shirt. So just so you know what? This is truth. When you buy a t-shirt at our store, facebook.com/spaced out radio, not only do you get this free piece of coaxial cable autographed by Cable Guy Matt, you're also getting a couple stickers. I've had stickers made up. And you're going to get a miniaturized version of our SOR We Own the Night poster, and I'm going to sign it. Yeah. I'm going to personalize it, and I'm going to sign it. It's true. So you get the poster, couple of spaced out radio stickers, and a t-shirt or a hoodie. The hats are going to look great. I think you'll love the hats I picked out. They are fantastic. Can't wait to get them made. They're going to be stitched, the hats. Hats are going to be a little bit more expensive because hats these days are expensive. But all right, here we go. We've rounded third. We're heading for home tonight on Spaced Out Radio. I'm Dave Scott. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us tonight. We really do appreciate it. I want to remind you that if you missed most of this show or others, check out our free archives by going to youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. Our website is spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you, including rocking out to Bumblefoot and reading up on Captain Shirk's SOR Newswire. Follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio and on Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show. Speaking of the news, let's do this thing, shall we? The news is always changing, which is why we bring you the SOR Newswire at the back end of every show, where we get to the weird, the strange, the wacky, and sometimes the mysterious. A long unsolved puzzle sent by the Zodiac Killer to the San Francisco Chronicle has finally been cracked by a team of coding experts, revealing taunting messages in which the murderer scoffed that he wasn't scared of being executed if caught, the paper said on Friday. "I hope you are having lots of fun in trying to catch me," the killer wrote in the bizarre coded message sent to the paper in 1969. "I am not afraid of the gas chamber because it will set me to paradise all the sooner because I now have enough slaves to work for me." The so-called 340 cipher, a jumble of letters, numbers, and symbols, doesn't reveal the name of the still unidentified killer who terrorized Northern California in the 1960s and 70s, but coding experts were thrilled to demystify the missive in the hopes it could help authorities uncover new insights into the mind of the prolific murderer who claimed to have slaughtered at least 37 people. Last weekend, a team I am on solved the 340 and submitted it to the FBI, coding expert David Oranchek said. "They have confirmed the solution. No joke. This is the real deal." A spokeswoman for the FBI's San Francisco office confirmed the message had been figured out, saying investigators were aware that a cipher attributed to the Zodiac Killer was recently solved by private citizens. The Zodiac Killer targeted young couples along with a male cab driver and delighted in taunting police and media, sending letters and puzzles about his unsolved cases. In those letters, he gave himself the name the Zodiac Killer, signing off with the moniker of a cross inside a circle, the same symbol printed on Zodiac brand watches at the time of his killing spree. In 1969, another one of his cipher puzzles was cracked by a school teacher from Salinas, California, and his wife. It said, "I like killing because it's so much fun." It is unclear if the killer is still alive, but based on a description of him, he would likely be an elderly man by now. Still, the FBI hasn't given up the hunt on him. The Zodiac Killer case remains an ongoing investigation, the agency spokeswoman said. "We will continue to seek justice for the victims of these brutal crimes." Major upgrades to the existing fleet of Canadian CF-18 Hornets are expected to take up to 5 years. Only 3 of the 7 F-18 fighter jets that Canada purchased from the Australian Air Force have been integrated into the Air Force so far, and the Department of National Defence says key upgrades to as much as 1/3 of Canada's fighter force will take up to 5 years, according to documents. The slow introduction of the used warplanes meant to bolster Canada's existing CF-18 squadrons, and the long timeline for radar refurbishment have the opposition Conservatives questioning the value of the interim fleet. A written government response to questions posed by the Conservatives last October was put before MPs recently. It said the older fighters will continue to join the Canadian Air Force at regular intervals, but did not lay out a precise timeline. National Defence will continue to work to integrate Australian F-18 Hornet aircraft into its current fleet of CF-18s as it completes the necessary modifications and upgrades to these aircraft. The Liberal government purchased 18 used fighters from Australia. The last of them won't be delivered until the summer of 2021. When it is first announced the plan 3 years ago, the government said it expected to keep most of the existing CF-18 fleet flying until 2032. The order paper question also noted that 36 existing CF-18s will get upgraded radar, and the Air Force is currently deciding which of its fighters, which were built in the 1980s, will get the high advanced new system. Engineers still need to sort out obstacles involved in combining the new equipment with the older airframe. Within the next months, National Defence will select 2 aircraft to test the installation process. The remaining 34 will be selected over the next 24 months. The upgrades will not be complete until June 2025, which is why the Conservative defense critic James Bezin is questioning the wisdom of buying the extra fighters, a purchase the Office of the Parliamentary Budget Officer says will cost $1.09 billion over the lifetime of the program. It's time to get rid of them. I love the Hornets. They're a gorgeous aircraft, but ours, way too old. Way too old. Sometimes you need new jets. You just do. Wayne Gretzky's name appears at number 1 an astounding 60 times in the NHL's record book. More than 2 decades after retiring, the Great One has set another high water mark. A mint condition 1979 O-Pee-Chee Gretzky rookie card became hockey's first to cost more than $1 million when it fetched $1.29 million at an auction. Gretzky is the greatest of all time, said Chris Ivey of Heritage Auctions, which handled the sale. This is his rookie card. And then add on to all that it is O-Pee-Chee, which is the Canadian version and is highly sought after. The online auction house said the trading card, which features Gretzky in his Edmonton Oilers uniform during the team's final WHA season before the franchise joined the NHL, is just one of 2 with 99 from O-Pee-Chee's 1979 run to receive a perfect gem mint score from the Professional Sports Authenticator grading service. That's out of the 5,711 Gretzky cards the PSA evaluated. By comparison, there are more than 300 rookie cards of NBA great Michael Jordan by Fleer with the same gem mint rating. Ivey said that it's extremely rare to find a Gretzky rookie card from O-Pee-Chee, which was essentially the Canadian arm of U.S.-based Topps, in perfect condition because of production issues in the late 1970s. 90% of the cards, as they came out of the factory, wouldn't be considered gem mint by today's grading standards, Ivey, Heritage Director of Sports Auctions, said in a phone call. They were using recycled cardboard that chipped easily, they were off-center, and they were a lot of print defects. That this card survived 40-plus years in this perfect condition, the desirability of it all for collectors is to have the best of the best, and that's what this is. A Topps 1979 Gretzky rookie card using the identical picture and classified with the same gem mint designation also sold for $720,000 during the same Heritage auction. PSA examined 6,048 Gretzky cards from that 1979 run and again deemed only 2 worthy of its highest grade. Ivey said that although the Topps card is slightly more rare, O-Pee-Chee sits atop of the heap for collectors. O-Pee-Chee has always outperformed tops in hockey simply because they're the Canadian brand. They're the same cards, essentially, but hockey is the national sport of Canada. If you're collecting hockey cards, the collectors want O-Pee-Chee. Now, I got to tell you, I had a couple of these Gretzky rookie cards as a kid, but remember playing knockdowns? You'd stand hockey cards against the wall and you'd flick other cards against your buddies. I lost mine in there, man. I lost them. And then I couldn't get them back. No, man, it was like a form of gambling that we did back on the playground, for sure. And yeah, I mean, goodness, we all did it back then. We all did it. Lost my Gretzky rookie cards that way. That one stings a little bit. The owner of a Bristol home where a new Banksy mural has appeared have pulled out of the sale at the 11th hour after it emerged the property could now be worth £5 million. Aileen Malkin, 57 years old, owns the £300,000 property, which could now see its value skyrocket because of the artwork. She was due to exchange contracts next week, but decided against the move after the street artist confirmed the work painted on the side of her home was indeed his. A Banksy expert estimates the wall art could be worth up to £5 million in value to the blue-painted property. The Achu artwork appeared overnight on the side of Aileen's Park Street house, which sits along Vale Street in Totterdown on December 10th. The street in Bristol, the suspected hometown of the anonymous street artist, is believed to be the steepest street in England. The image appears to show a pensioner who is sneezing is knocking over buildings, an effect created by spraying it on the side of the house. The piece was first discovered on the external wall of Aileen's semi-detached property on Thursday morning. Crowds have continued to gather around Vale Street in Totterdown, Bristol, since the Achu piece first appeared. Joe Sire, the founder of My Art Broker, said street art pieces are not sold with authentication by pest control, Banksy authentication body. However, with the right provenance in place, we'd estimate this to be worth in the region of £3 to £5 million. Holy cow. Holy cow. What a piece. That's just an amazing, amazing piece. I hope somebody doesn't destroy that. They put a plastic cover over it so that way it will try and keep vandals away. Because, you know, there's always got to be that idiot out there who has to try and ruin things. You know that. But, I mean, it's just amazing. An amazing, amazing piece. I love Banksy. One of my favorite artists. The massive and distant exoplanet called HD 106906b has an enlarged and elongated and angled orbit that causes it to take 15,000 Earth years to complete one lap around its twin stars. Yes, what does this mean? A massive exoplanet orbiting in a double star system 336 light years away may be similar to the alleged Planet 9 that may exist on the outskirts of our solar system, according to a new study. Timeout. Calling timeout. We have a ninth planet, but you guys keep screwing with Pluto. Pluto has done nothing wrong here. Nothing. Pluto just sits out there, you know, first gets it taken away, his planet designation taken away, doesn't argue about it. Then he brings it back, then they give it away again, and then he's a dwarf planet. Somebody give Pluto a break for once. That's our ninth planet. That's the way I grew up. I'm old school. All right? I'm old school. Leave Pluto alone. Anyways, this exoplanet was discovered in 2013 using the Magellan telescopes at the Las Campanas Observatory in Chile. Researchers were unable to determine its orbit. This led them to question if it was orbiting with two stars or if it was a rogue planet traveling away from the system, unattached by any star. The Hubble Space Telescope, however, provided accurate measurements of the planet's movements over a 14-year period. This is the first time scientists have been able to measure the movement of such a massive planet orbiting so distantly from its star. It's also the only planet known to be so separated from its stars. The exoplanet is so far away from its young host stars that the distance is equivalent to 730 times the distance from Earth to the Sun, and it explains why this exoplanet's orbit has been so difficult to track. It's moving incredibly slow because of its distance from the host stars, so the gravitational pull on the planet is much weaker. The young pair of stars, only about 15 million years old, just babies, are compared to our 4.5 billion year old sun. How the hell do they even know how old the sun is? This is where science kind of baffles me. It does. They don't know. They're estimating. Yeah, anyways, this is going to start pissing me off here. Let's just get rid of that one. Pluto is still planet number 9. Could be in future of matchmaking in Japan. Apparently, people are not having enough sex. Yeah, so the government is set to invest $19 million on AI systems designed to pair up singles in the country's latest attempt to combat falling marriage and birth rate figures. Letting the government come up with matchmaking service might sound like a bit of a strange idea, but it was actually quite common in Japan, which has been dealing with growing numbers of parasite singles, the Japanese term for young, unmarried 20 and 30-somethings who still live with their parents. It's a trend that is also rising in the West, but in Japan, it's actually becoming a serious problem. The country already has the oldest average population in the world, and with fewer people getting married, and therefore fewer babies being born, Japan's population is shrinking. Last year, the country reported its lowest birth rate since records began more than 100 years ago. Yeah, so basically, if you want to go and get lucky, maybe find a wife, Japan's a place to go. Here's a cool story. I love this. Manager of a Walmart store in Tennessee said a secret Santa came into the store and paid nearly $65,000 to cover the cost of all current layaway items. Chris Light, manager of the store, confirmed the person came in, wrote a check for just under $65,000, cleared the entire layaway balance. How about making that a Christmas for many people to remember? And finally, a Manitoba library said employees were shocked to see a magazine dropped into the return slot this week was last checked out in 1975. Yes, it was a Carcraft magazine. And you know what? The overdue fees maxed out at $7, so they kind of waived the late fees on that one. Pluto's number 9. Thought of the Dave happens every night at this time, where we ask a question on our Facebook and Twitter pages, then read your responses on the air, because we love the audience participation around here. Today's Thought of the Dave is as follows. Have you ever had a premonition? If so, what happened? Did it come true? Start off with Ann. I was a sophomore. I remember sitting in. I was thinking it was math. I look up at the clock, and at this moment, I just knew that my father had gotten into a car wreck, but it didn't feel as serious, more of a fender bender. 20 minutes later, the office sent a note to class that it had happened. Marty. Sometimes I get a feeling of foreboding a day or two later something really tragic will occur, like JFK's assassination, John Lennon's murder, or the 9/11 attacks, but I never know what it will be, just that something bad is coming. Joseph. All the time. Biggest, longest one was in 5th grade, where I basically had a Groundhog Day and no one believed me. I was able to even say what was going to happen the next day, but everyone thought it was something silly. Well, they were tricked. Greg, when I was 11, I had a dream that there were sirens outside. I was told to go back to sleep by my parents. Later that night, our neighbor's house caught fire, killing one person. Boy, oh boy, no premonitions, but lots of deja vu. Okay, let's move on here. Bernadette dreamt I was driving past a friend coming in the opposite direction, and she flipped me the bird. 2 weeks later, it happened. It still freaks me out to this day. Wayne, many of them came true. I had to fight Wayne for these ones. And he said, premonitions, I've had a lot of them. Living in California when I was going through some stuff, I went to bed one night and thought I was asleep, but I saw hundreds of thousands of people leaving California in droves. I was 19 when I had that experience. I was told in my spirit throughout everything in my body to get prepared, food, clothes, etc. I had no idea what was going to happen, but as we see now, many businesses and families are leaving California in droves. Caden, not really a premonition, but a long, short story. I was young and grounded from my computer, tried for 3 days to try and figure out the passcode, to no avail. Went to sleep, dreamt that I watched my mom type the password, woke up, tried it, and it worked. Kimberly, I wouldn't call it a premonition, but maybe I had something come true. I was in my late 20s having a recurring dream of someone whose face I could never see. I saw everything else, what they were wearing, where they were standing. It wasn't until almost 15 years later that I ended up meeting them online. Weird. Jeff, I was standing in line at the checkout with a potted plant. The thought came to me, when this plant dies, my marriage will be over. 13 years later, both the plant and my marriage died. Oh, that's weird. Eugene, had repeating dreams of drowning even though I was on the swimming and water polo teams. I died at 15 after drowning in a lake. Sparky, one time I was driving and I saw a car passing and coming directly towards me head on, but no car. But I slowed down and I was extra careful, and in about 5 minutes there was the car. I was able to avoid the accident because I was very aware and able to pull over to the right. Davey, I had a premonition that you were going to ask, even if I have ever had a premonition. Jay, when I see things in my mind, they come true the next day or days after. It's not a premonition. It's a selection of probability. Gabe, I had weird dreams about floods and fire in my apartment. Then months later, 9/11 happened. Shauna, yes, and I was heartbroken. Knew I'd never see my best mate again. She then took her own life. Well, that's terrible. Can't end on that note. Amy, maybe 4 months ago I was on the bypass. Clear as day, I heard in my head, mind you, switch lanes. The shovel in the back of the pickup is going to fly out. I immediately switched lanes as I was told. Less than 30 seconds later, shovel flies out, and it totally would have hit me. Could have killed me, to be honest. Thank you to everybody participating in the Thought of the Dave. We will do it all again very, very soon. And thank you to Captain Shirk for the SOR Newswire. And our guest tonight, a very interesting Jim Edward Lucier, for coming on in, talking about tarot, talking about paranormal, talking about aliens. It's always a good time when you get some aliens here on Spaced Out Radio, because that just turns the woo factor up just a little bit, don't you think? Oh, and thank you to my Magic 8 Ball for answering some questions during the show. We'll have to do that again as well. We got Mr. Ron Bumblefoot Thal rocking in the background with Little Brother Is Watching. Bumblefoot is the official music of Spaced Out Radio, rocking him in and out of every single show. Get your horns up for the guitar god himself. Special thanks to everybody listening in at home, in your cars, at work, wherever you may be. Thank you to everyone participating in our chat rooms on YouTube, Spreaker, LGAB, Revolution Radio, Facebook, the Space Travelers Club, and our website, and all the snarkers and snarkets having some fun on Twitter at hashtag Spaced Out Radio. It was a great night for radio, I bet, and I agree. Remember, this show is copyright by Spaced Out Radio and SOR Media Ventures Limited. Thank you so much for choosing to share your evening with us, because together, my friends, say it with me, we own the night. Mr. Bumblefoot, we need a favor. We need you to take us home. Yes, the Woo train has docked for the night, but soon, my friends, we shall ride again. Your seats are always available. Your tickets never expire. And if you want to bring a friend, we got room for them too. Good night. Good stuff, people. Good stuff. Not down there. Bring this over here. Woohoo! Pleased to meet you. Hope you guess my name. Woo woo. Woo woo. But what's puzzling you is the nature of my game. Woo woo. Woo woo. Come on, everyone. I stuck around St. Petersburg when I thought was a time for a change. I killed the Tsar and his minister. Anastasia screamed in vain. I rolled a tank, held a general's rank when the blitzkrieg raged and the bodies stank. Pleased to meet you. Hope you guess my name. Oh, yeah. But what's puzzling you is the nature of my game. Woo woo. Woo woo. Woo woo. Right? No? Nobody? Not really getting that? Nobody? Nobody playing along? Nobody playing along? I'm just all eh? Bastards. Thanks for that. Oh, I'll probably get flagged for that. That's okay. Hey, Super Derek. What's happening? How's your cape? Oh, you guys were singing. I like the Guns N' Roses version better. No offense. I'm not saying that because I'm a Motorhead does a good version of that song too. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. All right. That up. And I'm just going to download. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break here, everyone. So please bear with me. I know there's 58 of you. I'll be right back. All right, I am back. I am back. I am back. It's downloading. Okay. No, I can't, Gil. Ukrainian watermelon stories. Yeah, we need the Ukrainian watermelon in here a little bit more. Do 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 do. Bad. Or a quick thing here. Do 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 do. By the way, I may be looking for someone to join the SOR team. If you are good with video editing and YouTube, we are looking for someone to join our team. So, get a hold of me if you are that person. Finster, do you have qualifications? I want somebody qualified. Not having to learn it, but qualified. Dude. You never know, Bombshell. That fire may come important one day. You never know. You also live in Ontario or Quebec or somewhere like that, Bombshell. That's just weird. Do do do. Do do do. I really hate editing this show afterwards. I'd sooner be chatting with you guys. Hey, Crow Creek, how you doing? My favorite hockey team, I grew up loving the Edmonton Oilers. I still love the Oilers. I actually took a hiatus from the Oilers when they traded Ryan Smith a few years back. And then when I was working in Vancouver, I became a Canucks fan as well because, I mean, you get to know the players and, you're never really friends with them, but you get to know them on a personal level. And so I became a Canucks fan too. I loved Detroit as well, but back in the day when they got, I kind of left Detroit when or cheering for Detroit when they allowed Bob Probert to sign a free agent contract with Chicago. So I fell out of love with them. I was only a Detroit fan because Bob Probert was my favorite hockey player outside of Gretzky. Let's see here. Miss Dill Pickles. I am qualified for smoking awesome weed. Does that help my application? Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. Unfortunately, it doesn't help. My eyes are starting to bug out. Like, hurry up and get this shit over with. I don't have to be physically there to become a video editor? No. No. Hiya, Gil? No. I just need somebody who understands the concept of editing, maybe some graphics, and understands the magnitude of what we are trying to do. We can always send the files over and go from there. So that part could be taken care of. Toronto hasn't had a ring since 1967. I'm tired. All right, hold on. All right, guys, time to get your verification codes ready, as we are about to verify our reports tonight, everyone. As you know, we got to be verified every single night. Otherwise, I don't know what happens anymore if we're not verified. I forget those days. The old days when you didn't need to be verified. Remember that? All right, your verification code for tonight, people, is 683893. 683893. Verify wisely. Verify wisely. No, it wasn't in a coma. I was just reading some news stuff here on the news website. Kind of caught my attention there for a quick second. Hi, Mary Bond. How are you? Good afternoon to you. Or actually, it'd probably be good evening to you. I'm getting tired of my beard. Especially this part down here and this part down here. Tired of that. Hi, Lunar Tina. My eyes are honestly killing. Oh, where am I? I'm going. There, upload folder. There it goes. It is uploading now. Well, Bombshell, go to bed if you're sleepy. Go to bed. All right, that transfer is done. We got one more left. I apologize if I'm quiet. So for the new people here, I work a daytime job, and then I only get about sometimes only 90 minutes to relax before I get into the studio here in my house. And so I get a little tired sometimes. And I get worn out. So by the time the end of the week comes, by the time of the end of the week comes, sometimes I'm just done. Excuse me. Burped. Yeah, the rest of you veterans of our chat room, you guys can fill in the rookies about my busy schedule. On that note, I am going to bed. I got to work tomorrow. I'm tired, and I got a bunch of work I need to do tomorrow night for the show. And I don't think I'm going to be relaxing Sunday because some of us have to get some Christmas shopping done. But I will talk to you guys all on Monday. I really appreciate all of our new fans, all of our new subscribers. We're edging. I think we're going to get pretty damn close to passing. I think by the end of next week, we're at over 10,000 on YouTube. I really do. But thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. And have a good night. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you on Monday.